Hello and welcome along to a very special edition of Matchday Live here on Fox's Hub. It's a momentous day here at King Power Stadium, the final home game of this season, but it is indeed the day that Leicester City fans say goodbye to their greatest ever player. It is indeed time to say goodbye to the GOAT.
Same old Jamie Vardy.
He's like a fine wine, isn't he? He's getting better. He looks as sharp as I've seen him in the last 5 years.
Extraordinary and captivating and unforgettable. 3 years ago, he was banging in the goals for Stocksbridge Park Steel.
Jamie Vardy, the man who's made the long climb from non-league to the Premier League, shows he's at home in this kind of company.
History maker. 10 out of 10.
Brendan Rodgers called him one of Europe's top strikers this week, and that is why.
And Vardy goes first time and scores a stunner. Leicester's very own fantastic Mr. Fox.
Well, there we go. There is only going to be one focus for today, and that is Jamie Vardy. That is the fact that Leicester City say goodbye to their greatest ever player. We've even decked the studio out in Jamie Vardy memorabilia and bits. You can see the Red Bull cans, of course. We've got a pair of his match-worn boots, a number of his signed shirts from a number of different seasons.
Those boots could be going missing at some stage.
Yeah, Matt will take those. So we've got a commemorative programme. We'll have a flick through this a little bit later. Anyone coming to the game today, obviously you can get your hands on one of these. I'm sure they'll be available to get as well. After, we'll have a read through just some of the names that have even contributed to that. Is ridiculous of the people that have been part of his incredible 13-year journey. And I think the one thing to sum it up today is well, we know 499th game is on 199 goals, and today marks exactly 13 years since the day that he signed for the club. So it all kind of...
mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it all is quite unbelievable that is the case, isn't it? So if he gets that 200th goal in his 500th game, on the anniversary of signing for the club, it seems to be written in the stars. Hopefully we see a Jamie Vardy goal today. Please do get involved with us. You're watching, get involved in the comments. I'm sure everyone's going to be wanting to say their own bits to Jamie Vardy, as are our two guests this afternoon. Iwan Roberts and Matt Elliott, fantastic to have you both along here. And I'm sure you've done your research, haven't you? Well, Ewan certainly will have done on Jamie Vardy.
He's done mine for me.
Yeah.
I'm glancing over his shoulder.
But yeah, I think to be honest, the picture behind you on the screen there says everything that needs to be said, Ewan, doesn't it?
I mean, 2 championship winning medals, a Premier League winning medal, FA Cup, Community Shield. Premier League Player of the Season in 2016. I think it was the Football Writers Player of the Year the same season. Golden Boot winner. He was ever so unlucky not to win 2. I think he finished a goal behind Harry Kane in the Premier League winning season. And just seeing the montage there, you get great goal scorers and you get scorers of great goals. Not often you get both. He was both. He was a great goal scorer, and he scored some incredible goals. I mean,
Is.
yeah. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
No.
You can't give Jamie Vardy enough praise for what he's achieved at Leicester City.
No, it's just those stats that Ewan's reeled off there, and the ones that you mentioned about like the timing of the 199 goals, 499 games, 13 years to the day. That's crazy, but so's that highlight reel. There, it was just going on and on, and it could go on for a hell of a lot longer if we had time. He's just produced some unbelievable moments, hasn't he? And similar to what you're saying, Ewan, there, unbelievable instances and flashes, but also provided that consistency as well, hasn't he? Durability.
If you think
over
like this,
time, he's unbelievable.
Leicester have had 2 incredible goal scorers in their history, and a few more. But if you think of Gary Lineker and Jamie Vardy, Lineker was a great goal scorer. He didn't score goals like Jamie Vardy. Some of the goals the strikes that he had, the Liverpool one, the one where he's West Brom, where he's watched it all over his shoulder, on his left shoulder. The Spurs finish, some fantastic goals.
Again, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
We were putting together a list of his maybe top 20 goals, and you'd think he've just about got there, and then someone will chime up and go,
another one at you.
oh, what about Wolves at home, that opening day of the season? And oh, God, that one's got to be in. And then there's so many that you almost forget about, because in the 199, 50 of them probably, 40, 50 are like a top level goals, aren't they, if not more?
It used to make me laugh because people would say, from the outside, people who didn't see him regular, naively, they'd say, he's not one trick pony, but there's a typical Jamie Vardy goal. Like, being slid through, times to run well, his pace gets him away, slots it past the keeper or smashes
It's not a bad
it.
trick, that, by the way.
Well, exactly, it's a good one to have.
Yeah.
Probably, the most potent part of his game. But he can finish in pretty much every way possible. You see headers there, you see distance, you see variety, you see a bit of craft, a bit of...
I've got one stat here, right, from the Premier League winning season in 2015, 2016 to the 21-22 season. He scored 128 Premier League goals in 273 appearances. That's a goal every 2 and a bit games. That's absolutely top notch.
Over 100 Premier League goals, isn't it? After the age of 30, isn't it?
No one has got more
I think he
past
needs
the
to
age
write
of
that
30.
down.
You remember that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Than what Jamie Vardy does. 100, I think it's 143. It's a ridiculous record that he's got.
Mental, bordering on mental, isn't it? But it's just typifies it. Anything Jamie Vardy does doesn't really surprise you, though, does he? He's just that sort of character, really. When he came to the club, people say he had a difficult period. Yeah, that's probably fair enough. Jamie will probably say that himself, but he didn't let it bother him too much. I know.
This is him arriving as well today, by the way. He's arrived with his family. He's just unassuming as ever. You wouldn't realise it is his final ever game for Leicester City, would you?
What do you want him to come in on a chariot?
I don't know, mate. But it just like
he just gets on with business,
so much, doesn't it? But that's it. It is another game, and I'm sure then at full time that's when it'll maybe sink in for him. But today is about Jamie Vardy, isn't it?
Yeah, he knows the personal importance of today for him. I mean, you can tell when more than 2 hours before kick-off, when I think you were here, we arrived. You're
about
normally
half
before
an hour
me.
ago, weren't you?
Right, okay, yeah. I just rushed up the stairs. But no, but there's a real buzz around the stadium. That's a combination of things. It's the last game of the season, it's a lovely day. Yeah, but the main reason is Jamie Vardy. People have been talking about it all week, right across the whole city. everyone I bumped into pretty much is saying, "Oh,
I've never
shame
seen.
about Vardy." It said they're all coming to see.
Yeah.
I've never seen the outside of the King Power, and I know I don't come every week. I've never seen it so busy. I got here about 12 o'clock.
And normally 3 hours before kick-off, there's not that many people.
No.
All you can see, I mean, we've got a few here. All you can see is blue number 9 Vardy shirts. That's all people are wearing.
Yeah, I think if they didn't have them already, they bought them this week.
Absolutely.
Haven't they?
I think that there are so many messages coming in. Thank you, everyone who is joining us and watching. I can't literally read all of them out because we've had so many. AD, Riley, Mick, Jamie, Jenny, Bubba, Wiki, David. There are so many. Kelsey, Rhonda, Coco, like all these people commenting in, and it's all just following the same thread of goodbye, Jamie Vardy. We love you, and you know. You think of Premier League greats that have been at clubs for a long time. You know, Giggs, Scholes at Manchester United, Gerrard obviously at Liverpool, John Terry, Chelsea. There are so many like that. Jamie Vardy leaving Leicester and playing for the last time he's in the same pantheon, isn't he? Of those in terms of what he means for the supporters.
Well, and he's seen the ups and downs at this football club. You know, when he first signed, he was at Fleetwood for one season. He scored 31 goals in that season, which meant Fleetwood won the conference as it was back then. He's the first £1 million non-league player. You know, Leicester paid £1 million. What value for money that is now. You know, there was a time that the club could have sold him for millions. And I was here last week for the Forest game. His longevity's been unbelievable. His loyalty to the football club has been outstanding. I don't think in this day and age where players I don't think you'll see this again when a player stays as a football club for so long.
Particularly through the ups and downs that he has been through with Leicester.
You know, he's suffered relegation. He's had some incredible highs. He's had a few lows. He's just got on with it. I think this season, he's been a little bit frustrated with the way things have gone. I mean, for him to get 8 Premier League goals in a struggling side at the age that he is, it's 9
hopefully.
I tell you what, I think
crossed.
even Ipswich Town fans who are coming here today, I think they will be desperate for him to score.
Oh.
Yeah, it is the poetry, isn't it? Almost 500 games, 200 goals. You know, on the same day he signed that. It all feels right and feels like it's heading towards that.
Because I mean, you were at Nottingham last week, and a part of me didn't really want him to score last week at Nottingham. I wanted him to sort of save it.
Oh, is that when I got hammered for sitting on the fence?
Yeah, you did it, but you always do. You always do.
Well, to be fair, I was thinking.
You can't pick and choose. That's the thing, can you?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If
Vardy would have loved to have scored last week.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah.
To get that record, etc. I suppose in an ideal world, at home. But like you say, you don't get to pick and choose, do you? But
I've heard people say, I hope they want him to score today, but not a penalty. I'd take a penalty right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he doesn't even know he's looking the wrong way. The ball ricochets off him and goes in. That we'd take that, wouldn't we, for his 200th goal? But it's just for everything that he has achieved, Matt. And you know, we've got a long time to talk about him. We're literally going to talk Jamie Vardy pretty much until kick-off today. And there are so many moments, so many nights you can think of, so many afternoons you can think of that just, you know, whatever Leicester have done in the last 13 years, he's been a central cog of it.
Yeah, listen, he's the main event today, isn't he? And rightly so. What he's done for the club, done for himself as well. But you see some of the messages and the videos that you see that people have put across, and it means he's had such an effect on a lot of people's lives as well, without being too dramatic. But it's quite emotional, you know, to see how people react and respond and appreciate what he's helped Leicester City achieve and the moments that he's given them. They were treasuring for years and years, weren't they? And people have been quite open in expressing their feelings to Jamie Vardy as well, and he must be really appreciative, I think, and grateful that he's been able to do that. But he's the things with him, he's done it with like personality as well, hasn't he? Yeah, he's endeared himself to sort of like not an adopted Leicester attitude, but they chat rubbish. Was it chat rubbish? I'm trying to do this diplomatically.
Chat rubbish,
get bang. You can say that, can't we? Okay, so that sort of emanates from him. That bullishness, doesn't it? And he sort of typifies what people think of Leicester are about, and sometimes it is the case. But yeah, he's interesting to watch. Off the pitch, he's quite well. Actually, he's quite reserved, I suppose. Really, I don't think he is in real life as such. But he just gets on with business. There's no drama around him, is there? But when he's on the pitch, he expresses himself and he backs it up with the ability as well, doesn't he? And
I tell you what,
Leicester fans absolutely adore him.
What an example he is to any youngster who sort of suffers a setback at an early age when he's told by a certain football club, "Nah, you're not for us. We don't think you're good enough." To bounce back and to respond like he did at the age that he was he 26 when he turned professional? It just goes to show it's not all about one opinion. You've always got a chance to bounce back, and that's exactly what he's done.
And very much so. Yeah. And people were levelling that at him when he came to Leicester as well.
Really?
Yeah, for a while, early on.
And he had the backing of Nigel Pearson, didn't he?
Nigel Pearson,
who is here
exactly,
today amongst a number of Leicester legends that are here to say their goodbyes to Jamie Vardy. But Vardy himself has talked a lot about how huge an influence Nigel Pearson was to him, that he achieved everything, thanks to what Nigel Pearson helped to
as
do
a lot of players.
With him. Yeah, of course. Right, one of the huge moments for Jamie Vardy, of course, was scoring in 11 Premier League games in a row, breaking current manager Ruud van Nistelrooy's record to that. And the night that he did it, of course, against Manchester United, we all know the famous commentary, don't we? It's 11, it's heaven for Jamie Vardy. That came from possibly the GOAT of commentators, Martin Tyler, and he sat down with Jamie Vardy in a cinema to look back through at some of Jamie Vardy's greatest moments in a Leicester shirt, of course, including that night with Manchester United. Here's a little teaser of what you can expect from that, and it's all available for you on Fox's Hub.
Reflections of what Leicester City have meant to you.
It's been everything.
It was just a privilege to be there to see it. Thank you for doing it when I was there.
You're welcome. In my eyes, one of the best sporting achievements that there's ever been.
It's fairy tale stuff, Jamie.
It is when you put it like that.
Maybe I feel more of a fairy tale than you do.
All the lads were meant to be there at that precise time.
A band of brothers.
100%. As I've got older, it's more, I just want to be the best and give the best account of myself that I can to make my wife and kids proud. Always gone into games wanting to score, but the main outcome of that game has to be the club as a whole, picking 3 points.
Goal man second, club man first. Jamie Vardy, it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
There we go. You can watch that full feature on the website, on YouTube. Please do go and check it out, because it is a fantastic half an hour watch. Martin Tyler in conversation there with Jamie Vardy. We even heard in that little clip there Martin Tyler saying thank you to Vardy for breaking the record the night that he was there, the night that he was on commentary. Because what a huge moment that was. Matt, you said you've seen a little bit of that already.
Yeah.
That it only went live last night, so I don't blame you for not watching it yet. But do so at some point this week. But yeah, it's a fantastic watch. And again, we spoke to Jamie Vardy and about this moment, and he's probably spoken about it a lot. But to do, I think with Martin Tyler, is just something a bit different, wasn't it? And he gets a different side to Vards as well in that, so it's well worth the watch. But yeah, what a night that was, Ewan.
Fate, similar to today, as we've spoken about before, his 500th appearance in a Leicester shirt. He's on 199 goals. Now, to do it against Manchester United, where the previous record holder in Ruud van Nistelrooy was playing for, and I tell you what, good finish as well. A typical Jamie Vardy goal, pulling off the shoulder, terrific finish. It was written in the stars.
One trick pony.
hopefully, like today's going to be.
Yeah,
he talks on that show with Mike Tyler there about you mentioned about the finish there, and Fuchs trying to tell Jamie afterwards that it was all down to him, the weight of the pass, etc., and made it easy for Vardy to tuck away. But Martin Tyler suggests that he just sort of put his laces through it, and he said, well, it was actually a
bit more
combination.
culture than that, yeah.
He said, I did strike it, but in his terminology, he said, put the curly slipper on it.
That's what we call
He
it.
said, so it was like half of each. He sort of guided it, stroke whipped it in,
Bit
didn't
of power.
he? Yeah, whipped it across rather than going near post. But yeah, it's got to amuse me, that terminology. But
when we did the walk and talk with him, we'll see a little bit of that and later on in the hour as we build up to kick-off. But in that, I asked him about the celebration, and he's like, well, I'm not too sure what I was doing with the celebration there. Where he just, in front of the Man U fans, just me.
It was such a hyped moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
he said in that, though, he said he knew he was scoring that night.
What, when he went that night
he
before he went out?
messages from the other lads, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The other players. They were dropping him a text or whatever, however it was sent to him. But they were saying, good luck tonight within the squad. He said it was just...
He just said he knew
built up that much in my head. Yeah, it just seemed natural that it was going to occur.
And hopefully he has the same feeling today.
My best streak of goal scoring in consecutive games was paltry 5. To do it in 11.
That's not bad, mate.
I
was expecting less, to be fair.
To do it in 11.
He's coming out. I'll interrupt you and now, because we're just seeing on the pictures there, Jamie Vardy coming out for his final warm-up here at Leicester City. There's definitely more fans in already watching the warm-ups than what you normally would see. And there he is. He's sprinted out as normal, gone to find the ball.
More flags than normal as well.
And that's it. Yeah, well, there's one behind you, Matt, as well, which you can maybe fly in a minute. But there he is for the final time in a Leicester shirt, coming out for his warm-up.
You look at him there, Dan, and physically he hasn't changed since the first day he arrived. He's as fit as a butcher's dog. Is that right? Yeah. He doesn't carry an ounce away.
Don't worry.
I've got to get it right. And I spoke about him last week. The hunger, the desire, everything that you need to carry on playing to the age that he has is absolutely incredible. And I think he's such. You said he is a character, and I think he's an infectious character. I think he has a really positive impact on people around him, his teammates, for instance. I mean, it's a massive hole that's going to have to be filled when he leaves at the end of the season. But as we all know, all good things come to an end, and sadly, this is the end for Jamie Vardy.
His impact has been overall so far-reaching, really, in different terms, isn't it? The obvious one is his goals, but then it's his work rate. It's his creating the togetherness there in the squad. His experience, he gives a bit of an edge against the opposition, gives confidence to teammates, and he rallies the teammates as well. And he's developed his own game as well. He's gone through different eras within his own career here at Leicester City, different managers, styles of football, etc., etc. The list goes on. But he's always developed and adapted accordingly, but while still maintaining that goal-scoring threat.
He broke my heart in 2016. I might have said this before.
Wales, England.
Yeah, in a city called Lens in northern France. We'd won our first game against Slovakia. We were playing England in our second game. We were winning 1-0 at half-time.
Free kick.
Free kick. Joe Hart sort of could have done better, to be fair. And Roy Hodgson's made 2 changes at half-time. He's brought Jamie on, and he's brought Daniel Sturridge on. And Jamie went on and scored the first, and Daniel Sturridge scored the winner in injury time. But just the impact that he had then coming off the bench for England. And I think got 26 caps and 7 goals for England. Even at international level, that's a terrific record.
But there's so many. Sorry, Matt, but when people talk about coming to the Premier League at 27, being in non-league at 25? It's 24, 25. Anyone that said you were going to play in the Premier League probably thought that's rubbish. Then
win the Premier League.
Definitely. Well, then play for England, score at a major tournament for England. All these things,
crazy.
Scoring the Champions League. It's all things that he probably thought was never possible.
What about the goal he got? Against Germany?
The flick.
That just sums him up.
Yeah.
He's the roughneck sort of coming in from the wherever it is he's been hanging around, and then turns up England, Germany, and has the impudence to just flick one around like Gianfranco Zola, like better than Zola could do it. That was an unbelievable goal. And, you know, people still, I don't know, some people were sort of in denial that Jamie Vardy was capable of doing that at that level. They were, he's been fortunate there, you know, there's a bit of luck. No, he did things.
Not if you watch Leicester,
He did things like that,
yeah,
you know,
regular basis.
quite regularly.
And then he did it at the Etihad.
Yeah, exactly.
In scoring a hat-trick away at Pep Guardiola's Man City.
Such range in his game. It's always exciting to watch. I remember when he was first on the scene, when he was playing at the absolute top of his game, that little run that we saw there on the other screen there, where he was running out, bursting out to warm up, he used to blur my eyes, like how quick he moved. I just literally blur, and I'm getting on a bit and all that, right? But the eyes were like shaking watching him. I was thinking,
even 13 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I was thinking, I would hate to mark that. You know, he must be an absolute nightmare. Searing.
You drop off into the 6-yard box, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. As Tim Flowers used to say, you're the best centre half I've ever played in front of. I'd been dropping up, waiting for help, but
you always knew you had a chance. You always knew. Leicester always knew that with him up front, you always had a chance of getting something out of the game.
Yeah, let's hear from the man himself then, Jamie Vardy this week. Well, we asked you guys at home, Leicester City supporters, to send in video messages or questions that you had for the GOAT. He answered a number of those at Seagrave, so here he is in the box responding to your supporter questions.
Yeah, it looks like Yak. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's not about how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up.
Welcome to Jamie Vardy's, our COVID
Jamie
project,
Vardy.
custom-made gym and bar, so named in your honour. The kids just wanted
Brilliant.
to say
thank you, Jamie Vardy.
Oh, bless him.
Absolutely, Jamie Vardy. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the team. It's been epic and a real roller coaster. So thank you.
Thank you. They fully kitted that gym and bar out with Leicester stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
For everyone, every Leicester fan, you've been amazing and I'm going to miss you. So thank you for everything. Wherever your next chapter is, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you, Vardy.
Cheers, pal. Don't worry though, he's got plenty of years ahead of himself, hasn't he? It was only a part of his life.
Evening, Vards.
Yeah, it looks like
Yak.
Yak.
From a loyal Leicester fan here, Jimmy. I just want to say a massive thank you for everything you've done for my club. My late granddad was a massive fan, lifelong fan of the club, but you were by far one of his favourite players. So much so that he actually had you put on his ceremonial booklet when he died. It probably looks a little bit backwards just because it's obviously an inverted camera, but yeah, that's just a highlight of how much you affected at least one person's life who support the club, and I'm sure there are many others.
How sweet's that?
That was Jamie Vardy there reacting to some of the video messages that have been sent in to him. The Jamie Vardy bar in the back garden with a gym and yeah. So it's he has, and we heard it even in that last story there about the granddad. You know, he has touched Jamie Vardy, as you said. You know, personally, he's touched lives, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You think footballers surely can't do that, but
no,
they do.
It's amazing how much impact, influence that football in general does have on society, really, at times. You know, certainly big groups of big numbers of supporters, and it's, you know, for a lot of people, it's something that's the main thing in their life. Not sure whether that's necessarily a good thing, but it is at times. And what happens at Leicester City affects them individually. And Jamie Vardy's been the most influential player out of any over his time at the club, hasn't he? And again, it's that sort of association with him as well, and special moments that he's produced, and then in turn the team have produced because of that, had a big bearing on their lives. And you've just seen a few examples there, and there are many, many thousands more out there, the stories to be heard. And it must be really satisfying for Jamie Vardy to, like, in a nice way, in a reserved way, because he's quite a confident individual, but he doesn't shout the odds about how good he is and what he's done. He just lets lets everything take care of itself. That's his performances and goals speak for themselves largely. But for him to sort of actually take on board the impact he's had on so many people must be, really sort of satisfying for him and pleasing.
I mean, looking at today's game, when you saw the fixtures at the start of the season, Leicester playing Ipswich, last home game, penultimate game of the season, we thought, well, it could be huge. It could have massive repercussions on what happens to the football club. Can they stay in the Premier League? Yeah, we know that both have been relegated. So, and on any other normal day, this probably would be a bit of a dead rubber game, if you like.
Yeah.
But because what's happened in the last 2 or 3 weeks with Jamie coming out and saying it's going to be his last season at the club after 13 years, he's going to be moving elsewhere. This is anything but a dead rubber game now.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just looking through the social media, the X channel, formerly Twitter, obviously, of that we're putting out, and they've said what you said. It's like Vardy's everywhere you go. It's literally just shirts of Vardy, and everything is about Jamie Vardy, and again, rightly so, Matt, because we're talking about him. Yeah. There's a flag, so if you want to pull out one of those flags behind you, if you can reach behind you.
Okay.
There you go. So
not doing any damage.
The stadium today is decked out.
Wash with these.
There's a load of white ones, there's a load of blue ones. There's going to be a really, really impressive display.
Is that back to front now, isn't it?
The wrong way around for the camera.
There we go, sorry.
There we go.
That makes sense.
Thank you, Vardy, it says there. Just quite incredible. And the whole stadium today will look absolutely fantastic. I think there's a fantastic bit where you go out into the bowl.
Can I put it down now?
You can put it down now. Well, no, it's probably better that we can't see you. But you can see the stadium's set out, and then it's just like the pocket where the away section doesn't have any flags, which is great. And it's going to look absolutely brilliant today. But on that away end, we'll talk in a moment. We'll hear from him talking about the away fans. But I think that's something you've already brought up yourself, Ewan, is that you have to admire Jamie Vardy, even if you're a supporter of West Brom, for example, someone who Vardy has tormented for years, particularly at the Hawthorns. There's got to be a part of them that thinks,
They admire him. They will definitely admire him for what he's done.
Begrudging admiration.
Yeah. But I tell you what, any team would love a Jamie Vardy in their side and what he brings to the table on a regular basis. I mean, what a finish that is. To watch it the whole way on his weaker foot, the composure. I mean, he's talking about being clinical in front of goal. And that's why a great goal scorer of great goals. There's not too many of them about. I was fortunate. I played with Mark Hughes, who I wouldn't say was a great goal scorer, but was a scorer of great goals. But to combine both, like Jamie's done, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that finish that was up there. Well, with a lot of people's favourites, I suppose,
it's hard
isn't
to
it?
pick.
Tottenham,
It's hard to choose your favourite goal.
Liverpool, numerous others, But
one theme is the enjoying it with the opposition supporters.
Yeah,
yeah,
very much so. And as you say, particularly West Brom. Again, the list could go on.
One, quite decent left-footed finish, but Sheffield United, you knew he was scoring that day as well.
right in front of that end as well.
Well,
the cop at Bramall Lane.
Multiple amounts of stick, didn't he? Game after game, the away supporters never learned, did they? Never learned. And more often than not, were made to pay the price, weren't they? My favourite, I think, they showed it in the highlight reel to start with, the Crystal Palace away.
Oh, the celebration?
Yeah.
Exactly. The old eagle. Eagle has landed.
Very creative. I know it's probably, when you think about it, it's
something
quite obvious, I suppose. But
had he scored last week,
of it was.
Had he scored last week at Forest, I guarantee you he'd have been chopping the tree down 100% at the City ground.
Yeah, good shout. But he'd obviously put a bit of practice into that Eagle drive because he had it off to a tee, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was too good at it.
Very smooth. It was smooth. It was.
I tell you what, let's hear from Jamie Vardy. When we did the walk and talk, when we announced that Jamie Vardy was leaving the club, we were on the pitch with him. We took him round some of the moments on the King Power Stadium pitch that he did fantastic things. The Liverpool volley, for example, the 11 heaven goal. And we also took him to the away end, which is a huge part of his 13 years here at Leicester City. Right, we'll spin you around so we can we can see the away end, because as you've touched upon already, this has been a huge this is a huge part of your career here at Leicester City, is coming into this corner of the pitch.
Just it's football. It's entertainment. We're going to get stick from the fans, but they should be ready to get it back. I don't think any side of that should be took away from the game itself.
What has been one of your favourite celebrations in front of the away fans?
I'll be honest, I think it was Wolves at home. I scored, darted in front of my mate Codes, managed to get a toe poke on Ricky's cross and it ended up in the top corner and just running over. I don't even know why I did it, but I just howled at them like a wolf. It just felt like the right thing to do at the time.
Do you pick out individual faces when you do stuff like that? And when you just laugh at the away fan, is it like, do you make eye contact with the odd like fan here and there?
Yeah, well normally when you're running over there's someone who's going fully overboard, so it's like, there you go, you're the one.
What about away grounds? Have you got a favourite for, again, similar thing, what's your favourite celebration there in front of those?
West Brom away, 100%. 100%, the home end, far right corner. Same spot every time. I mean, there's pictures out there. It's like it's the same people, all giving me the middle finger, and yeah, you have to do it. You just run over, stand there, celebrate in front of him, just to wind him up a bit more. But again, it's all part and parcel of it. Football's full of emotions, needs to be entertaining, and I think that's a massive part.
It's probably the only possible thing that could bring Wolves and West Brom fans together is a mutual hatred of you.
I think that's just every team in the country, if I'm honest.
But you love that, don't you?
Yeah, like I say, it's nothing personal. It's part of the game. It's what gets people going, and I love it. I'm not fussed.
Well, nothing personal, he says, Jamie Vardy there in terms of his celebrations. But I think that's one thing that I'll personally miss the most, particularly, I think with Bristol City even last season in the Championship, scored a penalty, ran the length of the pitch, didn't need to celebrate in front of the away fans. It's just, no one's ever really done it like Jamie Vardy. I can't think in Premier League times. No one is known as that much of a rustler, if you like, of opposition supporters.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody who's sort of thought hard and long about what he's going to do, how he's going to do it when he scores against a certain team. I mean, we've got something in common. He loves playing at the Hawthorns, and so did I. It was a lucky ground for myself. Didn't quite get the amount of goals that Jamie had at West Brom. I mean, it is incredible what he's done in 13 years. I say the longevity is superb. His fitness levels, the way he's looked after his body, absolutely superb.
He's certainly king of the wind-up, isn't he? But you can only do that, really, successfully if you're backing it up with performances and goals. Otherwise, you make yourself look a bit silly, really. But the amount of times... He used to keep quiet, in fairness, until he'd done the business, i.e. scored a goal. And then he let opposition supporters know about it. Best way to do it, isn't it? But, yeah, he's quite creative as well. And he spent quite a bit of time thinking about those things, hasn't he? Because he's too good at it, like I said, to be spontaneous. Although he is that sort of chirpy character. Like, you know, I don't know him to any great degree, but I've spoken to him a few times. He's the cheeky chappy, and he's always ready to have a little chip, but in a nice way, in a friendly way.
Do you remember as well when I think Leicester were playing at home and the two teams were lining up, and I think Casper, he had a Danish international playing.
Southampton, wasn't it?
And we went, ooh, Danish friends.
Yeah. And what was the one when he was playing? I don't know if it was for England or if it was for Leicester against a foreign team. He was learning how to wind it was like German international, wasn't it, or something? He's learning German for expletives and etc. and wind up actions, but yeah, he goes to great lengths to get one over on the opposition. But
yeah, I saw a clip as well in the week. It was when the lads are still at Beaver Drive. I think it was ahead of the Champions League game, and Peter Schmeichel was doing some punditry stuff at Beaver Drive, and he comes out, obviously said hello to Casper as they're going out, and you just hear Vardy just shout like, "Oh, it's bring your dad to work day."
That's a good shout. That is a good shout. There's not many people would say that to. I know he knows Casper, but Peter Schmeichel was quite an intimidating figure. Jamie doesn't care.
It'd be interesting how he's feeling in the dressing room right now. Because I tell you what, it's going to be an emotional day for everybody in the King Power.
Well, when you get, I mean, we're just seeing on one of the other screens here, I'm sure we can put it on for you. Like, Wes Morgan, Danny Simpson, a number of special guests that are here. There's Kuntop as well, obviously with two of his favourite former players there. And, you know, these people are all here to say their own goodbyes to Jamie Vardy. They could sit and talk on here for an hour like we are about Jamie Vardy and everything that he's done. And there's a number of other players, the likes of Matty James, Shinji Okazaki, Danny Drinkwater. So many. There's Kingy just coming off the pitch. We know he's a member of the coaching staff now. He'd have been here even if he wasn't, wouldn't he? Kingy, obviously. And, you know, he's not just touched supporters' lives, but teammates' lives, you know, have been...
I mean, it's
there are not many individuals, if any, certainly at Leicester City, that would warrant all these ex-players, managers, former colleagues, etc., all being invited to a one-off game, especially on the back of, the truth be told, Leicester being relegated. You know, but even with that disappointment, there's still an appetite to show Vardy their appreciation. You know, I can't think of any other individual that would
command it,
warrant it, because it'd be a tinge of embarrassment about it, sort of thing. And a lot of the ex-players wouldn't turn up. They'd be saying, "Oh, hang on,
no, you're all right.
Didn't that for me," sort of thing. But it's Jamie Vardy; they'll do it gladly.
Yeah, very, very much. So.
I had a phone call. I was driving up from Norwich this morning, and phone goes in the car. Sav, I think he wanted to talk to me about something other than Jamie Vardy, and he said, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm going up to Leicester." And he went, "Oh, it can't be a Legends Day because I've not been invited."
Yeah,
but, do you know? I mean, and it's a day to celebrate a magnificent career of 13 years at the football club. But you can't help but feel sad that it is coming to an end, sort of thing. That, you know, next season we're not going to see Jamie Vardy in a Leicester City shirt.
No, it's a good point. I'll just lean over here because the commemorative programme that's for Jamie Vardy, Goodbye to the GOAT, got his signature there. Obviously, all the pictures from a number of different seasons. You look through, and we've obviously spoken to so many of those legends that we've just been talking about. So there's the likes of, if you can pick it up, Nigel Pearson, Brendan Rodgers, Andy King, Steve Walsh, Kasper Schmeichel, Wes Morgan, Mark Albrighton, Christian Fuchs, Danny Simpson, David Nugent, Danny Drinkwater, Yuri Tielemans, all these people that have said their own bits about Jamie Vardy as he goes in there for his final team talk ever as a Leicester City player. I'm sure, presumably, he's going to say a couple of words, you would think, wouldn't you, now, in the 15 minutes as we build up to kick off?
I don't think
would he?
Who, Jamie? What, to the rest of the squad?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Probably just a quick little mention, I suppose. But I don't think he'll over-elaborate because also his best times have been with slightly different set of players as well, isn't it? So, yeah, they've only got
the ones that are here, basically. To see it.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe a small nod or announcement of appreciation for what people have done for him. Whatever. Mark Albrighton and Kasper Schmeichel down as well. They're going to be having wouldn't mind getting involved in that jolly up afterwards. Little meet up, wouldn't they? End of season and all that. No, it's good. That just shows the mark of respect that those players are showing Jamie Vardy. So I can't think of any other Leicester City player that would happen to.
I mean, would they have a Premier League winners' medal if it wasn't for Jamie Vardy? 23 goals that season. Don't get me wrong, that was an outstanding team when you put Mahrez and N'Golo Kante, and they were a proper side. We talk about the Leicester spirit and the Leicester togetherness. I mean, I think back in that 2015-16 season, they had that in abundance.
Yeah. Speaking of celebrations, do you think he's got one planned today if he gets that 200th goal? Has it got to be something in his head? What do you think? Or is he going to go simple? Is he going to
Depends if
go...
the away fans give him any stick. He can come up with something to them. But if they're quite polite to Jamie, yeah, what's he going to produce?
Will he have something underneath his shirt?
I don't remember him ever really doing that. But maybe today with his last game might be slightly
with a message to all the Leicester fans underneath it.
He must have something planned, surely. Well, we know
just a little points to the name.
There's an awful lot going on post-match. So again, if you are coming to the game, well, we're just over 10 minutes away from kickoff. You're probably not watching us now if you're here, but there's a lot going on post-match for Jamie Vardy as well. So as well as what we're going to see pre-match, but he's got to have something planned. I think if he does get that 200th goal, maybe a message under his shirt.
Yeah,
you might be right. I just can't remember him ever doing that.
I can't. In all honesty,
just point to a name and give it a bow.
Yeah,
as he's done similar before, hasn't he?
My assumption as well, I could be wrong, but presumably he gets subbed off after about 89, 90 minutes, doesn't he? So he gets that one.
Scored.
If he scored, good point. Yeah. If he's not scored, he probably wants to be out there.
100%. You'd have to drag him off, I think, if he's still looking for that elusive goal. But I mean, let's just hope that he has got that goal by then, and he can get the ovation that he thoroughly deserves.
It's going to be some day of celebration, regardless, man.
Yeah, you wouldn't back against it, would you? He's come up against the odds many times, but the odds are probably in his favour today.
And to be fair, he's up against one of the worst defences in the Premier League. To be fair, so
you would imagine that an opportunity will come his way. By hook or by crook.
Similar to Southampton a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, really? One chance, really, one goal. And
yeah, to be fair, nothing materialised for him second half, did it, when we expected it to? But
he didn't really have too many opportunities last week, did he?
Some finish, that was. No, the one with, was it Buonanotte played the ball through?
Slightly behind him, wasn't it? Yeah.
Behind him, he cut inside, didn't he, rather than sort of dragged it along onto his right foot. But saving it up, shall we say.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. He's
got to.
It's needed for the day, isn't it, really? Yeah. I mean, it's one thing Leicester finishing the season on some sort of high with a victory, but got to be rounded off with Jamie notching, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've all assumed correctly as you look at the bottom of the screen there. He does start, Jamie Vardy. Obviously, he starts today. Just the one change from the team that played against Forest a week ago. Bouba Samari comes in, Oliver Skip drops out. But yeah, Jamie Vardy being at the top there, number 9, leading the line, was always going to happen, wasn't it? So Stolarczyk in goal, Thomas, Fast, Cody, Justin, Ndidi Samari, Ayew, El Khanous, McAteer, Vardy. That is almost irrelevant other than the one player on the pitch today. It just feels that way, Ewan, doesn't it?
It does.
Again, even this build-up that we've been doing, and forget that there's a Premier League game happening in 10 minutes.
I mean, there's just one name that we've focused on it for 45, 50 minutes now, haven't we? And we've not run out of anything to say. I mean, you could sit here for another hour and talk about Jamie Vardy in what he's done in the last 13 seasons here. Just go and finish it off today, please with a goal.
Yeah, for me, it's that picture behind you that's the one that sums it up.
Yeah.
Really, just
saw that image a week or two ago.
Yeah.
So that just sums it all up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Never mind the team awards and the team achievements. His collection of
it's ridiculous.
Trophies and tributes there.
Premier League team of the season 3 times. It's unbelievable what he's done.
The personal accolades there, and everyone knows that he's had the success in the major domestic trophies, but all the trimmings around it, you forget. And
it's impressive when you see it like that.
Oh, yeah. What a great picture.
Yeah, with pretty much absolutely everything there. There was
I'll do much
I
more
read
than
it
that,
out
can
a
he?
couple of weeks ago, pretty much what each individual item is. You can find it. There's a picture of it also in today's programme as well, which tells you exactly what each trophy means, and it just sums it up. And before we hand over to our commentary team for Jamie Vardy's final game, we're just praying for that goal, aren't we? 500 games, 200 goals, what a way to go out.
I mean, in my final game, I've been at Norwich for 7 years, came to an end, played Crewe away. I was desperate to get to 100. I didn't quite do it, but I got 2 on my last appearance. I'm just desperate for him to, especially at home, in front of the home fans who have sort of supported him for the last 13 years. Don't get me wrong, he's absolutely delivered for the supporters. They're the lads again who have come to say their goodbyes. I think there's going to be a lot of hay fever flying about the stadium with some sort of wet eyes.
There'll be some tears today, Matt, I think.
Yeah, you'd imagine, wouldn't you? In different manners as well, isn't it? For different reasons. Hopefully tears of joy, but there will be some of sadness. I think that Jamie Vardy's finally departing, and fans will never get to see him in action again. Not in a blue shirt anyway at the King Power. Who knows what the future holds for him, but everyone will wish him the ultimate good luck.
Right, well, for the final time then, let's hand over to our commentary team this afternoon to talk us through the last time we will see Jamie Vardy in a Leicester City shirt. His 500th game for the club. Will he get his 200th goal? We'll find out. We've got a full commentary of Leicester City against Ipswich coming up live on Fox.